to say I didn't see NFTs coming.
I didn't see NFTs coming. No.
I don't know. No, I called them making One Piece remake. I said on the podcast episode, like, they're going to remake One Piece. When they were done with One Piece. I said when they were done.
Yeah, they're not even done with it.
But I called they were going to remake it, and they did.
Yeah.
But they jumped the fucking gun.
Yeah.
They were like, fuck it, let's do it now.
They got to capitalize on it while it's hot, right?
But yeah, I think jacking off to a jackhammer, probably not good for your mental. Even if
I think your mental is a bit far gone.
Even
at that point, you know?
like you shouldn't do that. If you own a fucking fuckable doll at home, get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Just use your hand, bro.
Please, for your own sake.
Yeah.
It's no different from what you. Yes, it is. You bought a human-sized fuck toy. It is very different.
No,
get rid of it.
Even the Tenga video that we did, some of the contraptions that they like brought out for us,
fucking absurd.
They're monetizing your loneliness.
Yeah.
You're lonely, and they are taking advantage of you by saying, "Hey, look what you need."
No, because I see some of these contraptions, and at that point, it kind of just feels like you're just hacking the mind to find the most efficient way to jack off.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if you've never been, if you've never had a partner before, you know that sex isn't the most efficient thing of all time. It actually takes a lot of work a lot of times.
It's a workout.
2 pumps for me gone.
I just have to look at a woman.
2 pump and done. That's what they call me.
Look into my eyes. Oh.
Was that fucking manhwa where he's like the guy with like the cum touch? I can't remember the name of it.
Oh yeah. Fuck. What was the name of it again?
Oh shit!
It's my favorite manga.
Oh, it's such a good manhwa. I can't remember it though.
Yeah.
Not Golden Boy.
Golden Boy.
That's something else.
Golden Touch. I don't know.
Yeah. But humanity is more and more fucked every year.
Yeah, I can see why the older generation keeps repeating that.
Yeah, but this has been like a phenomenon for centuries, where the previous generation deemed the coming generation to be.
Oh, for sure. But I feel like this time they're onto something.
No, you feel like because it's your.
Every generation felt like that, Joey.
Yeah, there's literally like newspaper articles of like the early 1800s being like, these new generations have no manners. They can't function.
They're
in modern
walking
day
around
society.
showing ankle.
Yeah, and then the next generation does the same thing. And this is a perpetual thing where obviously the new generation are going to evolve. And it's up to us to
Evolve? You mean grow up?
No, evolve. Like what their tastes are.
I mean, like Pokemon? Yeah. Like what?
Our dad wasn't jacking
Human
off.
is evolving.
Our dad wasn't jacking into a Tenga. You know what I mean? That's a new development.
Yeah.
Jackhammers, phone holders. That's a new generation. They're evolving.
But I will say, yes, definitely every generation for the past couple of centuries have been saying that about the newer generations for sure. But I feel
no, you're falling into the trap, Joe.
Yeah,
you
you
feel
are.
like we're the different one. The next one really is fucked.
no, but like we were talking about like the lessening of optimism in the newer generation, right?
That's
and
true.
like how
That's
everyone is
true.
becoming more doomerish.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, has that happened in previous generations? Maybe not. Maybe they have, but maybe not to the same extent as it is now because we're running into.
I actually feel like
things like
as
internet.
millennials, we started that trend. Boomers just kind of like went with the depression trend and we're just like, actually, we can do it better than you.
We ran so Gen Zs could walk.
I'm sure there was somebody in 1910. They were like, "Oh boy, gee, in America, I can't wait to join the job market next year." Boom, Great Depression. No jobs for you. Everyone is starving. 3 or 4 years, this shit lasts for. Yeah, I'm sure they would probably think, "Well, we had it fucking bad."
Obviously, but like say for our generation, right? Like millennials.
Yeah.
Where was it so much of a common idea between like people of our generation, I guess the newer generation, to be like as like doomery or sad about our future compared to like this newer generation?
Well, also we didn't have to fucking kill each other. You talk to the older generation and they went through fucking several wars
but I'm not
and shit
comparing
like
it to
that.
that.
And like they look at our generation, I'm like, what the fuck do you have war with?
Well,
Coffee?
clearly. Yeah,
Like,
clearly. But like, I'm talking about this newer generation now.
Yeah.
Right? Like the newest generation, like why is there suddenly so much of a big shift?
I think
What is fucked?
I think there's just a lot more shared experience, and also, there was definitely like houses were and stuff like that, house rent and whatnot. It was definitely rising like 20 years ago, but obviously,
For sure, yeah.
there wasn't as many people talking about it online and arguing about it. Also, you have to bear in mind that like 20, 30 years ago, it was kind of seems like a bad thing to be like, I can't afford this. Or like,
This might
complain about money.
be
Nowadays, it's like, hey, can you also not afford rent?
this might be
I can't afford rent.
completely anecdotal because I have no evidence to back this up. But
this is all pure speculation.
yeah, no, like for me. But I think just existing has never been harder.
Yeah.
just the act of existing, maybe that that you had some bad times like the Great Depression, obviously.
Bad times.
As we
Big Sag.
as we like to call it, the Big Sag.
Okay. We should have the Great Depression too. No, we shouldn't have that. We should call it something better, not the Great Depression.
The Big Sag.
Yeah, we call it the Big Sag.
We have another one. We should.
The Big Sag.
We'll call it the Big Sag. The Big Sag of the 2030s.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a 100-year cycle.
When did they coin the term Great Depression? Was it during the time?
Well, it was happening in the 30s, right?
Well, this is like a good question of like, did they call it, because it's called the Great War, World War I, and they asked when did they start referring to it as World War I?
Yeah.
And it wasn't until, I think, long after
That-
World War II.
that-
Well, it's probably not until World War II, right?
But I think it was sometime after as well. It wasn't immediately after. They went like, I remember one. This is the sequel.
Yeah.
I think it was, there was a good video about it. I can't remember what it's called.
Right.
But I mean, that doesn't fucking matter. It's stupid figuring out when shit was named.
But like, I wonder, what are they going to name?
It's based on a book called The Great Depression by Hoover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What are they going to name COVID times, do you reckon, when historians look back and think,
COVID? Pandemic? I don't know.
This isn't the first pandemic we've been through, though, right?
This is the first global pandemic in a very long time.
I mean, there was the Black Death as well, but that was only in Europe.
That only wiped out like a third of humanity.
And also, if you remember that, like, this is the first pandemic that's been available, that's very easily spread in the modern travel era, where people can just get, like, I can be in Australia tomorrow.
Yeah, it was kind of difficult to travel in the 1300s.
You know, back then, they, like, I think in like, I think one of the wars, there was like there was kind of influenza that was wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
But that was localized to Europe at that time, right? Because there wasn't people like flying all over the fucking place, spreading it to their like whoever and everyone. So yeah, it's I mean, it's interesting. I think it's weird because, like, obviously we're in very good financial places, but I still feel like, holy shit, like, buying a house is still a hard thing to do.
Oh yeah, it's
which is like crazy. I'm like, oh my god. When I look back at brochures, they're like, yeah, we'll ship you a house and you build it for $10,000. I'm like, what?
It's a giant Lego set.
Yeah, they used to sell made-to-order houses. They would just send you the parts and you build it. This is the thing in America. I thought it was crazy. That's so cool. We can't do that now.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, there's made-to-order houses that that were in America. That's prefab, but I think that's what come up. You could literally get sent, and they would send you all the things in like crates, and you would presumably just build it.
Oh my god, this is like IKEA nightmare mode.
This is your final. This is your final boss. After this is where the Lego
I'm training up with the Legos, and this is the final boss.
This mail order house. It's beautiful.
That's a nice house.
Holy shit!
Yeah, obviously, even with inflation, it was still.
IKEA nightmare mode.
This is your final. This is your final boss. After this is where the Lego.
I'm training up with the Legos, and this is the final boss.
This mail order house. It's beautiful.
That's a nice house.
Holy shit!
Yeah, obviously, even with inflation, it was still way more affordable than houses nowadays.
Yeah,
jeez,
it's crazy. That's back when everyone just, I guess, somehow knew how to build a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was $2,000 in 19 something, which even with inflation wouldn't come close to 1960, 16. What's $2,000 in 1916 in today's money? Could you have a look?
2 million.
Just type it in. There's like calculators to tell you.
No, I mean, I've been recommended more and more videos of just people living on the road in fucking vans and caravans and shit.
That feels like a kind of subconscious like struggle answer to this world we live in, where it's like, I can't fucking.
$31,000. That's nothing.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What the fuck? Cars are more expensive.
Yeah, I mean, like, could you guys ever do that? Like, just pack up. Okay, number one, I find this concept really interesting because I don't know how many other countries you can get away with doing this aside from America. Because it's funny because I've actually met people that have done that life. When I went back to Wisconsin this year, Sydney's like extended friendship circle had like some new people join, and they had a year or maybe 2 years, just literally they sold everything they owned, put everything into a van, and just traveled the road and just lived on the road for 2 years. And after 2 years, they just hit Wisconsin and were like, I think we've had enough traveling. Let's just get an apartment.
That's
badass. It's fucking badass, but holy shit, it made me realize how OP America is, because I couldn't like imagine like traveling. Imagine just
England in a week.
Yeah. Imagine doing that in England or some shit. Because they were like, yeah, we started off in like West Coast, went up north, went all the way to Alaska for like a bit.